God bless everybody. So today I'm going to make a short video because I want to recognize Apostle Mike Signorelli. But before we get into it, let me just pray. Father, I come before you. I thank you. Let it be your words that comes out of my mouth, Lord, so that the people can understand my heart and understand where I'm coming from, Lord. Let it be your will and your words, not mine. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so yeah, I still got some work to do on the praying part. I'm learning, so I'm working on it. I do better praying by myself than trying to pray out loud. So, Apostle Mike Signorelli, I hope that he does see this video because I want him to understand how much of an influence he has been in my life, how much good he brings into my life in the 3 years that I've been following him on YouTube through his V1 Church. When I come online a lot, I see a bunch of negative stuff being said about him and the other demon slayers, and almost nothing positive. I have to, when you go into the V1 Church app and you listen to the service, of course, there's a lot of positive because we're all members on the church app. So, but I have yet found somebody to make a video speaking positive of him. Or at least I haven't seen it. They're probably out there. I just haven't seen it. Actually, I do take that back. Abednego, he's giving credit to Mike Signorelli a lot. He has defended Mike Signorelli's for at least once or twice. I think I've seen that on his videos. So I take that back. Abednego does say some positive things about Apostle Mike Signorelli and Apostle Pagani. So yeah, there are people that do it. It's just not as frequent. All right. So first thing is that I officially started listening to Apostle Mike Signorelli when he was at the Tent Revival with Greg Locke. Greg Locke had that Tent Revival conference. I think it was for 3 days. I think it was in 2021 or 2022. I can't remember the year. But I watched all 3 of those days online. All like 8 hours worth for each day too. So I know Mike Signorelli was there, Apostle Pagani was there, Isaiah Saldivar was there, Jenny Weaver was there, Vlad Shevchuk was there. All of them were there, and I've listened to all of them. So it was through Greg Locke that I actually started paying attention to all of them. However, I've known their names prior to that. Of course, I know their names because of all the negative comments that were being made about them. That's how I knew of their names. So it was until Greg Locke that I've actually watched and listened to the stuff that we're preaching, and the things started changing for me. My view of them started changing because all I was listening to was people being negative. making these reaction videos over everything they say, right? So when Greg Locke did his tent revival, and I've heard Mike Signorelli preach. I think he was on the last day. He was the last one to speak. I'm pretty sure he was the last one to speak. I enjoyed his service. It blessed me so much. Blessed me so much that I started looking into his videos. And his videos led me to V1 Church. And I have my devices, my cell phone and my tablet, set to when V1 has their live services streamed, it automatically saves it. So while I'm at my service at my local church, I would come home after that and plug into to V1 Church, and it's okay with me because my church and V1 Church are almost identical, very similar in beliefs. So it's not like I'm getting two different teachings. You know what I mean? I'm getting the same teachings, but Pastor Mike, he breaks things down so much that I can understand it better. You know what I mean? Pastor Mike has helped a lot of people, including me. I live in Central Florida, and where I live, I would say about 80% of the people come from New York. I'm originally born in Brooklyn, New York, from Canarsie. Take the L train to 105th Street, right? Used to work in Coney Island, on the Home Depot that used to be there off of Crop Street. Take the F train all the way to Coney Island and just walk down a few blocks off of Neptune Avenue. So I know about New York City, right? So he would do these pop-up videos sometimes while he's walking the streets and just prophesying over things. I know from being born and raised in New York, there are a lot of areas in that city you could just feel the demons. You could just feel the demonic in the area. I know that from experience. I mean, you ain't gotta convince me on that. I know that. People that are not from that area don't understand. They're not gonna understand him. They're not gonna get what he's saying. When he speaks, I understand him because we're from that area, and so is Apostle Magani. He's from the Bronx, right? My wife is from Queens. I've been in all 5 boroughs of the city when I was living there, when I was growing up there. So I used to travel a lot to Yankee Stadium. So when Pastor Mike preaches and he says things, 99% of the time I understand what he's saying. Where other people don't get what he's saying, but they try to twist his words and try to make him look like a bad guy. But I understand him 100%. Well, not 100%, 99%. So I just want to recognize him, man, because he does a lot for people. I ran into a woman out here last summer in my workplace, and I was talking with her, and she had her headsets on, out of conversation. I said, "Who you listening to?" She said, "Oh, you probably don't know this guy." I said, "Go ahead, ask me." Mike said, "No, really." You know what the weirdest thing was? I was working, and I had my earpods on, and I was also listening to Mike Signorelli. And I told her, I was like, I'm from New York, and then we just had a good conversation. She said that he has helped me in some of my toughest times. Now I don't know if it was physically from the Brooklyn church or the Long Island church, or it was the one down here in Miami, because Miami's only 4 hours away from me. So, but somewhere along the lines, there was an interaction. Pastor Mike helped her, and because of him helping her, she's still here today. She said that's coming from her. So I didn't get into the details. I don't know what happened, but whatever she heard from him, it helped her tremendously. Right. Also, I have his book. I'm reading it. I also have it on Audible. I also have the movie, The Domino Revival. Guys, you want to know something? I went into watching that movie thinking that, okay, I'm gonna learn a lot about demons. Same thing with the book. Oh, I'm gonna learn a lot about demons. You want to know something? He barely mentions demons. Barely mentions it a few times. I think in the book. I haven't finished the book completely. In the movie, nope, not a single thing about casting out demons. Like people say, I was like, oh, he talks about demons. No, he doesn't. There was a part in the movie though. I want him to understand this. There was a part in the movie that he goes up to this young man. And he says, I saw you. I think I can't remember for word. The man was contemplating suicide at one point in his life. Pastor Mike was telling him God changed the tracks on him. And the man broke down and cried. That part of the movie broke me. Because you want to know something? At the age of 18, I also tried suicide. I tried to do it through over-the-counter medications. I'm thankful that that the Lord still kept me here. That I was not successful. So the things that were taught in that movie, brought some tears, man. I bought that movie on the first day that it came out at midnight. As I was listening to it, I was in the living room by myself. And there were parts of the movie where there was some worship. My wife was in the room already. She comes out without mentioning the word. She starts worshiping and sits down to watch the movie with me. Then just a few days later, I had family members come up. My mother-in-law and my wife's Titi. I said, hey, I got a movie for you guys. I want you guys to see it. Because my wife's Titi, her husband just passed away in October. And he was a bishop. So she's going through some very emotional, hard times at the moment. And then I put the movie on, and we just started talking about God. So for all the negativity that Pastor Mike gets, I thought it was a good idea that he gets one video at least of recognition of somebody telling him, "Hey man, I love you. I thank you for everything you do." I'm not saying that he gets everything correct, because guess what? Neither do I. Sometimes he has misinterpreted the Bible, and he apologized, and he repented for a couple of times. I've seen him do it a couple of times. He corrects himself. Guess who else misinterprets the Bible? Me. I can't tell you how many times I had to go back and apologize to people for getting things wrong biblically. He's a pastor with a family that includes his church, that includes his own followers. We're not worshiping Pastor Mike like some people think. We are recognizing him for all the hard work he has done. All right? So he also was actually him and Radar Apologetics and another friend of mine that mentioned another individual that's no longer here with us, but he has a couple of books by the name of Derek Prince. I have his book too. I have one of his books. So I watched V1's church service last Sunday, and he mentioned about how Derek Prince explains demons, and it was through that book I'm reading, that I have right now. And guess what? Derek Prince doesn't even say that everything's a demon. Nobody's saying everything that happens is a demon. They just want to take things and twist things, you know what I mean? To make people like Pastor Mike look like some evil person. He's not, man. He's a brother. He has a family. He's leading people to Christ. And for that, I acknowledge him. I recognize him. I thank him. So Pastor Mike, if you see this, I thank you. Continue doing the work. Just know that there are people like me that are out there that love you. All right? God bless you, Pastor Mike. God bless V1 Church. God bless your family. And we love you. Have a good one.